Have you ever had the urge to sacrifice your sanity and completely deplete your will to live, just to beat a fast-paced shooter on the hardest difficulty? Or maybe you have dreamt of introducing yourself to the autism spectrum. No, I don't care what your answer was to those questions. This video is made for you.
Now, you may be wondering, how is a shell of a gamer gonna complete Doom Eternal on the hardest difficulty?
Well, my good sir, for me to perform such an act, I will have to have extremely strong willpower, and accompanying that, I will have to disregard all natural human emotions and needs. Now, this experience will be very miserable and dehumanizing, but nothing 3 shots of black tar heroin can't fix. Now sit by me at the campfire and crack open a cold one as I tell you a story of how I got my ass pounded for 30 plus hours. I start off this run by collecting my first Pokemon card, but don't forget them, they will come in handy later. I then walk in on my bunny, who I teach some new kinks that I discovered after being fucked in the other room so aggressively. And after some brown liquid began to pour down my leg, courtesy of this big man, I then find 2 drunk homeless men fighting for the last dose of heroin to satisfy their needs. I unsuspectingly grab a yellow Pokemon card when another homeless man pulls a sad attempt of turning into Kool-Aid Man. But the problem was solved when I hit him with that 1-2 Mayweather. id Software then decides to give me a tumor, featuring the laser brain spider in a concealed space, completely defeating the idea of Doom's fast pace. Oh shit, fucking bars. Yo, come sign me! Come sign! If you enjoyed this fuckery that id just pulled on me, then you'll be happy to hear that my asshole would be plagued by id's bullshit this entire run.
After feeding my explosive balls to this caco,
I complete the final part of this hour and 56-minute BDSM session. After showing off my gift to my 2 elders, they shame me. Why did they shame me? After I'm about to show off my shotgun to those who doubted my gift, the maker has to ruin all the fun. Okay, now it's time to put our big boy pants on. I finally got introduced to an imp on steroids, aka the Hell Knight. Wait, but you don't want to hear about this. You want to hear where I get destroyed, don't you? So fast forward with me, and let's see how hard these demons will mukbang on my asshole. Now, it's time for you to meet Torture. These motherfuckers are the embodiment of a piece of shit. I literally can't explain to you how much pain these pink troglodytes cause me. These discount blights can go fuck themselves. Okay, besides the fact that these brain-dead crackheads gave me a new level of migraines, this one part took me an hour and a half of pain. Well, after that torture, I continue my journey, starting with some platforming. And more platforming. And more platforming. Jesus, calm down on the platforming, man. Shut. Oh yeah, I also discovered this machine of destruction they plan to use against me later on. Let's just take a second to appreciate how retarded this Pinky looked after charging at what I believe to be Casper the Ghost. A true dumbass, just like the rest of his heritage. After putting this peasant into my phase montage that I will submit later on today, I put on my big boy panties and get ready to take on the first boss. Now, going into this fight, I already knew I was fucked by looking down on the bottom left on my screen and realizing I'd fuck all hell. By walking through these gates, I clenched my ass cheeks so aggressively to the point where I shat myself. And it sure didn't help when they showed me this big cock man right in front of me about to fuck my shit up while I'm on 31 HP.
they were building this motherfucker like Iron Man.
And to say that wasn't intimidating was a complete lie. My nuts were indeed quaking. I mean, you can even hear how stoked I was to fight the first boss on 31 HP. No fucking way I'm about to fight the first boss on 31 HP. And I indeed did. As a matter of fact, I fought him on 10 HP. We're not gonna talk about me getting an extra life. I still shoved a giant turd down this man's root canal, but the job wasn't finished. Now, I had to take on 2 of them. Something I was very capable of doing. I checked my hitman list and see 2 cyborgs and a fat-ass peasant who doubted me. I actually almost died while trying to beat the last cyborg, but I knew the power levels couldn't match up to mine, and sure enough, I sent all 3 of them to the Shadow Realm. I also find it quite strange that this sexy hunk of a man likes to collect toys in his spare time. But anyway, now back to the topic of fucking up bosses.
Well, I guess he's a minibus, but
Anyway, say hello to the art complex.
the place where I meet my best friend, the Marauder.
I'm not gonna lie, this shit was easy. Literally a piece of cake. I don't understand how game journalists can have such a hard time on this path. No. I think anyone with the IQ above 20 should be fine. You just wait for his eyes to turn green, then switch back to your super shotgun and then ballista and fuck this man up, and you most certainly won't be the one whose nuts are quaking. Before you start asking me where the final kill was, Maybe you should ask my recording software first. If you can tell me what's happening in this clip, you're a fucking liar. After embarrassing the Marauder, I get my boy dripped out, accompanying a sweet old ass slapping. Now this right here, this does bring joy to me. Oh yeah, and also, after finishing up the exploration of the Hell's personal sex slave tour, I fight the Guardian, but he was no match for the Doomslayer. This chat of a man, the leader we needed but didn't deserve. Why does he do so much damage? Oh. Like what? I didn't press that button. Yeah, I got my shit kicked in. But after only a couple tries, I managed to beat the shit out of this big fat man. Yeah! I also popped this man's fucking head like a grape. I then go attempt my first Slayer gate. Not only my first, but my last. Because man, I'm fucking sick of dying. And these Slayer gates put me on a new spectrum of autism. I finally get introduced to my baby. My sweet, sweet baby, the Crucible. To say this magnificent demonic sword was fun to use was an understatement. Okay boys, now it's time to lead the ship until my mission is complete. Killing the Kanye. I'm not gonna bore you to death with all this fucking platforming that legit takes like 9 hours it feels like. So let's just get straight to the boss fight.
Is this happening? I should probably say shout out to my friends in prison, shouldn't I? Shout out to Martin and Tabitha, currently in the pen for tax evasion. Free my chiggers. Riding round in a...
Okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This fight was easy as shit. All you have to do is super shotgun and ballista swatch. Swatch? All you have to do is ballista and super shotgun. All you have to do is super shotgun and ballista switch and you're G. If you have the lock on Bez for the rocket launcher, I think that's good as well. I don't know, I didn't have it, but after she's in a staggered state, you just grapple up to her and fist her, man. You fist the boss. You fist her.
Later, bitch. Sit the fuck down, you fucking pussy.
Yo, good game, dude.
You're fucking trash.
The final level that would leave me rubbing my nipples in pain has approached me. I can't even explain how much this level hurt me. Not only psychologically, but physically. Because I adopted the ancient coping mechanism called cock and ball torture. After somehow violating most of the levels, this part arose to ruin my day. Id Software basically threw everything in the fucking game at me at once. And I did not appreciate it. Neither did my asshole, but I guess we can't have everything in life. This level tormented me, but when I got past it, I was greeted by a slap in the face, the icon of sin. This was probably the most agonizing hour of my entire fucking life. No matter how much I shot, no matter how much damage I did, this motherfucker didn't want to go down. Here's a couple of my deaths that pushed me more towards insanity.
Yes. I'm gonna hang myself.
After hiding but still getting killed, I committed the cardinal sin of equipping Sentinel armor. I was getting pushed over my limits and I couldn't be fucked anymore. After the icon of sin piecing the fuck out after me beating his ass finally, I go through the portal and start stage 2. This is where you really need to put your big boy pants on and fuck up this man. This part surprisingly only took me half an hour, but don't get me wrong, that half an hour was AIDS. I almost died and I was about to break everything in my fucking room, but luckily delayed the icon of sin, completing Doom Eternal. I did leave out a bunch of arenas in this because I didn't want to bore you to death with them, because sometimes it can be pretty tedious just rambling on about the same type of arena. And yeah, I didn't do any of the Slayer gates because I knew I was gonna fucking die if I did that, and my rage meter was already through the roof, to say the least. This is a new type of content, and if you enjoyed it, just like it so I know. Now, before you go to the comments and criticize me for talking shit about your beloved Doom Eternal, no, but in all seriousness, this game was crazy. There's not that many games out there that are gonna be like this, you know. I am willing to do a challenge, you know. This was just
Doom Eternal and Nightmare. But yeah, and if you enjoyed the video, sub and like, and you know what to do. Alright, see ya.